Alright, we started the day off at Harbor Freight. We had to pick up these quick connects. They are, let's see, they are 1/4 male brass universal couplers. And you'll see how we use these later, but pretty much they connect the hose to the compressors. Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my onboard air setup. Last time I worked on the wiring, mounting up the compressors, and in today's video we're gonna actually mess with the air connections and mount up this 5-gallon tank in the back of the Jeep. So I got this rubber hose from Harbor Freight, 8-foot long, 1/4 MPT fitting, I believe. It says a lot of things, but the main idea is there's only one different kind at Harbor Freight, and it's this. So anyways, I got 2 of these because I have 2 compressors, so one hose is going to go to each compressor. Quick fitting, so it can go to the it can connect to the compressors. Quick fitting that's already comes with it, which is this. Took it off for you guys so you guys can see. And then from the hoses it's going to go to this T fitting here. And then from the T fitting it's going to go to this air chuck, which goes to the tank. The tank is designed so it fills up with an air chuck, so it's not ideal, but I can make it work just like this. And having this locking one will make it really easy, as well as quickly disconnectable. If I just want to make it modular, or if I want to remove the air hose system for any reason, it'll just be 2 quick disconnects for the hoses, and then 1 air chuck, and then everything is gone. So let's go ahead and break out the Teflon tape and get to going. Alright, as you guys can see, when you put on the air chuck attachment to the T-fitting I have, it doesn't quite clear this little metal piece right here. So what I'm going to do is get my Dremel tool and just grind away some of that. Alright, so pretty much this assembly is done. So you have the quick connects on each side of the hoses, and then on the other end of the hoses you have a T-fitting with the air chuck, the locking air chuck thingy on there. Real easy. I don't know if you guys can see that. Grounded it down right there. It's easier if you put the air chuck on the T-fitting before you add the hoses. Alright, so now I've set up the hoses, and now I gotta set up the tank for installation. And here are all the things I have. I have 2 adjustable wrenches just to tighten down everything. I have a quick release right there. This will be for the output. I'll go over that in a second. Pressure cutoff, and for the gauge I have the one that came with the tank. And then I have a T-fitting. That is 1/8 all the way around, and then I have a pressure cutoff switch, but this is 1/4, so I have a converter from 1/4 to 1/8 size. And on your tank here, this is pretty much what comes on it. I'm just gonna keep this. I don't have any other manifold system to go with this, so, and to keep it cheap, I'll just use this. And how you input air into the tank is through this air chuck right here, and this is the release. This is how to turn it on. This right here is your output for your gauge. That's always on. And then this right here is for your output of your air, and that's where I'm going to put this quick connect, so I can just quick connect my hose just like that. Should be really easy and simple. So now I'm just going to get the Teflon tape and start tightening everything down and putting everything on the manifold here. Alright, so this is what it looks like. There's the main manifold. Here's that 1/8 T fitting here. 2 female and 1 male to go into this side. The pressure gauge, as well as the 1/4 to 1/8 adapter for my pressure cutoff switch, which is turns on at 90 and then shuts off at 120. And then this is my quick disconnect for the output, where I hook up my hose and I can hook it up to the tires or wherever I want to hook it up to. So now I need a place to mount the tank itself. And I think for now, before I get my shelf system that I've wanted, I'm just going to mount it like right here, or kind of like this. I really don't even use this space. I rarely even use it, so I think it'd be a good solution to put it right here, or like this, one or the other, something like that. I'll get back to you guys when I figure out a way to mount it up. Alright, so I think I'm just going to mount it up like this. I can just guide my wires up and up through the roll bar.
This is my output, which isn't too terribly bad if this will focus. My pressure gauge, I could probably just turn it, but I mean, it's no big deal. It's good access to the air chuck that fills it up because the compressors are under this seat. And how I'm going to mount it up is I have these two pieces of metal. You can get these from like Lowe's for super cheap, like $3 for this long. It's like 3 or 4 feet. And then I have another one right there. And I'm going to tap into this right here, which is a seat belt holder, and there's tons of thread left, so it shouldn't be a problem for that. And then I'll just have to bend it up right here for this ridge. And then I'll also tap into this bolt right here, which is just like an anchor point for like cargo or something, and that won't be a problem either. I can just slip it under. I'll have to find a way to either cut this or manipulate this cargo mat to work with that, but it shouldn't be a problem. This is probably the most ghetto setup for a vice clamp system. I don't have like a table vice or anything, so this is what I have to do. Get a metal mallet, sledgehammer type thing, and then get my C-clamp, clamp my piece of metal to that, and then you just hit away with the hammer. And you know. Perfect. Just as good as a fabricator can make one. Look at that. Alright, so this is what I came up with. I have these two pieces of metal coming out. See, I just used a seatbelt bolt right here, and then I made a few bends in it. And then this is the hole that will attach to the air tank. And then I took out the cargo mounting D-ring type of thing. I don't even ever use this, so I just took it out. And then I cut a hole in this piece of metal. And then this is where it's going to attach to the tank. Let's see if I can mock it up, show you guys. Okay, so over there, that's where the metal will get right. There'll be a nut and a bolt that goes right there, and then right here this metal is going to actually go on top, so it's going to go pretty much like that, and there's going to be a bolt that goes straight through there, and then I'll tighten everything down, and that's pretty much how it's going to look. It's going to look pretty good. So let me go ahead, paint those brackets, and then I'll show you guys when it's all done. Now while this paint over there is drying, I'm going to wire up my pressure cutoff switch. And how this works, and then it works as a switch. Once it has the right pressure, it shuts off or it turns on if there's not enough pressure. And I'll talk about the wiring more in depth right now. So I've already gone over this in the last video, but I updated it with the pressure cutoff switch right here. But I'll go over it again for you guys if you guys didn't watch part 1. So the positive terminal runs to 70 amp breaker. 70 amps because each of these pull 30, and the next one up is, so 30 plus 30 is 60, and the next one up is 70. If you put a 60 amp breaker, it's going to break every time because that's how many amps it pulls. So use really thick gauge wire for this. I use 4 gauge, and then you run from the breaker all the way to the pressure cutoff switch right here, and then right here you run from the pressure cutoff switch to this prong on the switch. That's 14 gauge wire. I use 14 gauge wire. This one, the wire from the breaker, another wire from the breaker goes to the starter relay. That's 4 gauge wire. And then the bottom of my relay needs to be grounded. Whatever relay you use, there's a ground for that. And just do that. The other prong of the starter relay goes to the compressors. This is 4 gauge wire also. And I just tied both of them together here. The negatives from the compressors go to ground. I just did that somewhere on the body, just one of the existing ground points. I just put it there. This S and the I stands for ignition and starter. I put it on the starter. And so it goes up and goes to this prong on the back of the switch. And then the 2 grounds right here for the lights on the switch, on the 2 top prongs. And then this prong on the bottom right here goes to the window controls dimmer. So that makes sure that the lights on my switch dim with the dim controls and all of that. Now I'm going to go over how all the air components tie together. And this is pretty much how the air works. I have the arrows directing where the air goes, and pretty much blue arrows are output arrows and green are the input. So 2 compressors go into the tank, tapped into the manifold up here, but for just illustration purposes I put it right here. And then you have 3 outputs. Your main output, which will go to your air tools, your tire, inflator, whatever you want. And then 2 more outputs that are all time outputs, which is your pressure cutoff switch and your gauge. And these need to be on all the time so you can check how much air is in your tank, number 1. And then number 2, your pressure cutoff switch works so your air compressors don't just keep going and eventually blow up your tank, because the tank has a capacity, and if you keep pumping air into it, something's going to break. Either it's going to be your hoses, your tank, or your compressors will just seize, or they'll just stall. And most likely, either your compressor is going to stall or your tank's going to explode. Those hoses are rated for like 300 psi, so it's pretty ridiculous how much you can add to them, but that's pretty much it. That is it. So I'll leave the diagrams of this and the air in the video so you guys can screenshot it and use it. But pretty much I need to run these 2 leads to the cab to the switch right here, and I can just tap into the lines over here. I'll just cut in, and then I'll take it from right here. It'll go to the pressure cutoff switch from here, and then from the cutoff switch it'll continue the line back to the same wire. Pretty straightforward and pretty simple. So let's go ahead and do it. So I took these 2 wires out of the switch. These are the ones that go to the relay and the fuse, respectively. There's 2 of them, and I'm just going to cut one of them. It really doesn't matter which one you cut, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to snip one of them right there, and then I'm going to strip it and add a male connector to one side and a female connector to one side. That way, if I want to ever take out the pressure cutoff switch, I can just reconnect these 2, and it'll be like I never even tapped into these lines. So I'm going to get my world famous wire cutter that everybody hates and suggest I get a really fancy one, like one of those like really crazy cool ones. But your boy ain't got the guap for that. If you guys want me to actually buy one, you're going to have to donate to my Patreon page. Alright? I don't got money to just spend on wire strippers, because these work perfectly fine, am I right? And they kind of work. They don't work that well. But look at that. Easy, baby. Easy. I'm going to run this wire down. This is just like my 14 gauge stock wire, and then I'll just run it through from here down under this plastic trim right here and all the way to the back where the tank is. Alright, so I have all my wires run. Here they are. This black and this red wire are going all the way down to the cutoff switch down there. And how you pull out these trim pieces is you'll see these little push pins right here and all along, and you just kind of pull them out and work your way to the back. It's pretty easy, really simple, and that's pretty much how it's ran. All is run down there. I'm about to reconnect this to the switch here, and then we'll work on the wiring back there. Alright, now here are the brackets. They look pretty good. I gave them like a matte black type finish instead of the wrinkled black. I kind of got tired. It takes really long for that wrinkled black to dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and install this and mount everything up, and it should be good to go. All we got to do is connect our wires to the pressure cutoff switch. Everything will be done. Alright, so I got to cut into this OEM carpet. Oh my god, he's cutting into the OEM carpet. Oh my god, somebody please. Alright, look. Look, man. Look. It's fine. It's fine. Just a small piece out of it. Alright, let's cut a little slit in it, just so that little bracket and that piece can fit right up in here. And the OEM carpet should just go right in. Should be pretty awesome. Alright, so now I have my 2 lines, and all I gotta do is just plug it into my pressure cutoff switches, or pressure cutoff switch here, and that's it for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and hook up my air hose and then show you guys how it all works. Turn on the switch. Air is running from the compressors up through these hoses. And
show you that it actually fills up. That is the sound of the air coming out of the tank. I'll set all that. And that is it for part 2, and that pretty much concludes the whole building process of the onboard air. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys had some ideas, because I like to make these videos are for like inspiration for you guys to have your own ideas to customize, make some stuff for your own Jeep, or if you want to buy ARB, do whatever you want. But this is my solution. It costed me $240 something, like right on the dot. And of course you can dress it up or dress it down depending on whatever you want. You don't have to use the tanks, you don't have to use dual compressors and whatever, blah blah blah. Hopefully I explained everything well. If you have any questions or concerns, drop it in the comment section below. I read every comment, and most of the time I do respond. Oh, and there will be a testing video when you guys can see it in actual action. I mean, you guys have seen it work, but actually inflating my tires in a few days. I'm not going to promise anything, because then we'll have a situation where I don't put the video out for like forever. But honestly, I'm waiting on a power tank inflator, a really high quality inflator that I'll go up to there, and I have to also buy another line. I don't know how long I should get it, or I can actually make a 4-wheel where it fills up all 4 at the same time. I'm not sure yet. Drop a comment on what I should actually do. But yeah, so I gotta buy that power tank inflator, and it's like $100. So that'll be in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.